guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have a what sold video. Now one of these days I'm going to actually put these videos out weekly, bi-weekly, you know, when the days stop just going by so quickly. So anyway, thanks for still loving me and my hot mess self, even though I can't seem to get anything out on time, but that's okay. I still think it's important, even though the sales we're going to go over today are from the month of September and we are about to close out October. What sold videos are what help sharpen my skills as a reseller. It's how I learn about a lot of new brands. And today we're going to go over not all of my sales. September was pretty fantastic and I had a net profit of close to $3,000. And so it was great. I had more sales than I had the month before, so I count that as a win. I know it's very easy in this, my daughter practicing spelling words. It's very easy as a reseller, especially if you watch YouTube videos, to compare yourself. But for me, I just try to do better than I did the month before. This is my part-time deal, the thing that brings me joy. And so let's just jump into it. The sales I chose to go over with you guys, I sell on Kidizen, Mercari, and Poshmark. We're going to go over the sales that sold for $20 or more. A lot of these I did profit over $20, but I'm just going by sale price, and we are going to go through them quickly, and hopefully you will learn a thing or two. We're going to start with Kidizen and then jump into Mercari, and Poshmark absolutely took the lead, as it is again this month with being my most sales platform. And I just attribute that to I've been trying to list at least one item a day, even the days I'm really busy. So we all know the more you list, the more you sell. And you guys also know I love selling kids clothes. I do have some women's sales, men's sales. So don't discount these kids stuff. You'll see what I'm talking about. So let's start sharing my screen. And we are starting over on Kidizen, and these are a brand I had never heard of. These actually came in a Jomar mystery kids shoebox. I don't know if I ever told you guys, I got 2 of those boxes, and I was able to have Jomar completely refund one of the boxes. I did have to send it back, but it was terrible. The shoes were not in sellable condition. But as it turns out, from my first box, I've actually made quite a bit of profit. However, I still am sticking to I will probably not order from them again. So I had $3.42 into these. They sold for $37. And on Kittison, I do not offer free shipping anymore. So when I tell you guys what it sold for in terms of Kittison, usually if I like 37, I obviously sent this person an offer. And when I send an offer, I don't break out the shipping. It just takes too much time. So. All right, this Disney Ariel costume is from the Disney parks. Those costumes go for a lot more. I sell these all year round. This might have sold because of Halloween coming, but I had a whopping 65 cents into this from the bins, and it sold for my full price of $42.15 very quickly. You will see I sold this exact same costume on Mercari as well. I mean, not the same costume. I had 2. All right, this is a great brand to look out for kids' clothes. It's called Monsoon. It's very expensive. It does hold its resale value. Now, I'll say a lot of people haven't heard of it, so sometimes it does take longer to sell, but this sold for $42. And I do know that this was going to, the woman messaged me and thanked me, and this was going to be used as a homemade Elsa costume. I thought that was pretty smart. Did I tell you I got this off of swap.com? Y'all know I love Swap. And if you want to order from there, make sure you use my code and save 40% off. And I paid $8.39 for this. Cat and Jack. Some Cat and Jack sells, guys. It's worth picking up. This came to me in a bulk.com order for $3.52. It sold for $25. Play, a wonderful brand to pick up. They will always sell no matter the condition. PLAE. I've never found women's or men's, but they do also make them. But kids shoes, I love them. They are indestructible. These were actually my daughter's school shoes. She wore them for an entire year and they still ended up looking brand new. So these were a personal item and they sold for $28. These shoes were also a personal item of my daughter's and they sold for $22. Hannah Anderson, I kind of cleaned my kids' closets out back in August when school was starting. Finally got some things listed. So this was my son's jacket. It sold for $22. This Anthropology shirt I picked up at Style Encore. I did pay up at $18. It was a linen shirt. I bought this for myself, which is why I spent so much. It ended up I didn't like how it looked on me. It did sell for $35. So even taking out my high cost of goods, I still made a net profit of $7.77, and I was happy with that. Matilda Jane. Now, some resellers of kids clothing will tell you that Matilda Jane is kind of losing its resale value. I tend to disagree. I sell it quite often and typically for close to my asking price. I sold this shirt for $20.65. This came out of my daughter's closet. These UGG boots came from that Jomar Kids shoebox, $3.42 in it. They sold for $32. This is the Koolabera, which is their lower end diffusion line, but they will still sell. This Barbie Halloween, this was just a personal item that was in my daughter's closet. We've had it since 2013, never took it out of the box, and it sold for $28.15, my full asking price. These redhead camo boots, these were my son's. He wore the heck out of these, you guys. You can see I listed them in play condition. They were loved. I ended up throwing them in the washing machine. They actually washed up pretty well other than being faded. And I mean, he must have worn these for 2 years. We live on a lake and he wore them almost every single day to go play outside. They still sold for $21.50. So I still made a profit of 10 bucks. And these were actually a Christmas gift he got from his grandpa. So great sale. So even if you think something is not worth listing, especially when it comes to kids' shoes, kids grow fast. People do not want to pay full price. Get it listed. All right, we're going to head over. So I did have more Kittison sales, but remember, I'm only showing you guys what sold for that $20 price point or more. So here over on Mercari, this Brooks pullover, I did have $5 into this from Goodwill. It sold for $20. I do not offer free shipping on Mercari either. So plus shipping, I'm not going to say that every time, but you'll get the gist. This Tucker and Tate dress, I had $3.49 into it from a local Goodwill. It sold for $25. Tucker and Tate is I think it's a Nordstrom house brand. I know I got this at Nordstrom Rack for my daughter, like a dress similar to this, but this one did come from Goodwill, new with the tags. Allison Ames, this is probably a brand you're not going to find at the thrift stores. You may find it in a children's consignment. Pick it up, even in play condition. I have sold these dresses for 20 bucks with pills. It's a small shop brand similar to Remy Girl. So great item here. So it was a personal item. It sold for $29. These Timberland baby booties also came from that Jomar box, $3.42 into them. They sold for $20. These Kappa red snap pants came in a men's thread up rescue box at $3.24 into them. They had a lot of stains that I could not get out. They were listed in fair condition, sold for $25. Guys, I'm going to pause here and tell you, if you are a reseller, I am really going to encourage you not to use FedEx Smart Post. It's awful. As a buyer, I purchased an item. Today is October the 27th, I think, right? Yes. I bought an item on October the 12th from someone. They shipped the very next day and I still don't have my item. So as a buyer, it's really frustrating because I want those items. These shoes, I don't use the Smart Post. I had them listed at the higher option. The buyer messaged me and asked if I would do the lower fee. I said yes. And you guys, it took these shoes like 3 weeks to get there. Tracking was never updating. It was just a disaster. So I know it's cheaper. I think it's cheaper than the UPS has a new one too. But anyway, this is just my word of caution. Like if you want happy buyers, like right now, like I'm not upset with the seller that I bought the items from, but I'm like, ugh, it sucks. Like, you know, if she had sent it first class, even though it was heavy, I'm just saying it would have been here in a few days. So FedEx is no good to me. Okay, these came in a men's, this is one of the good things that came in my men's 100-pound thread up box, $3.13. They sold for $73. These Adidas shoes came in a thread up kids shoe box. I think they gave me like a refund for a pair or two. Usually it's about $5, but I only had $2.62 into these. They sold for $27. Bernie Mev. Comps aren't great for this brand. It's a very expensive retail brand. I would still pick it up if they were cheap. These came to me in a Jomar comfort shoe box. I bought like 5 boxes from Jomar all around the same time. And I just happened to list them all at the same time, which is why they're all now selling. $6.37. They sold for 24 bucks. So I still made a net profit of $14.23. So they were also a very small size. They were a women's size 5. Mini Melissa, you guys know I have a video all about this brand, how to clean them. They are my favorites. We are getting to that last size with my youngest daughter where they have these Mary Jane styles, and I'm really sad about it. These sold for my full asking price of $36. They were hers. This Harry Potter costume came from the bins. I had 78 cents into it, sold very quickly for $20. Another Matilda Jane item. This was a personal item of my daughter's. I don't think she ever wore it, to be honest. My older daughter, this just isn't her style. This is my younger's style, but I decided I didn't want to hold on to it. Sold for $27. These Adidas shoes were given to me from a friend. She ordered the wrong size, didn't feel like sending them back. And so I made they sold for $46. So $39.77 of pure profit. I will take it. This is that Disney Store Little Mermaid costume again. This one also came from the bins for 78 cents, sold for $36. This Vineyard Vines men's polo had $1 into it from a local thrift, sold for $25. This is that brand Reamy Girl that I mentioned, is very similar to Alice plus Ames, just another small shop, quite expensive. They don't always make these leotards, and so people do search for them. It sold for $20. All right, we are going to now head over to Poshmark, and this is where most of my sales happened. This was so cool. This was a Hocus Pocus dress. I did replace the lace. It was a Dollar Tree shoelace that I replaced it with. I did say that it has a different lace than original, and this sold very quickly. I had 75 cents into it, and it sold for $35. This Abercrombie & Fitch denim skirt came in a thread-up 200-pound mystery box for $1.47. I used Y2K. It was vintage, and it sold for 20 bucks very quickly. This Disney Parks official Minnie Mouse sleep shirt, I had $1 into this from a local sale. It was new with the tags. It sold for, oh, lost my spot, $20. These Vans, they're called the Vintage Camo sneakers. I had $2.50 into these from my local Once Upon a Child. They sold for $25. So guys, people on Poshmark will pay that $7.45 shipping for kids stuff. So don't be afraid to cross post. I use List Perfectly. I have a coupon for 30% off down below. I just have the basic one where I do one at a time, and I love it. It changed my business. I would not have any sales on Poshmark if it weren't for List Perfectly. I list everything first to Kidizen, except the men's items, of course, and then I push them out to Mercari and Poshmark from there. This men's Sims fishing shirt came from a men's 100-pound thread-up box, $3.13 into it, sold for $20. I had a nice little bundle. It was these Tom's rose gold shoes came from Once Upon a Child. I had $5 into those. This mini Bowden woodland penny dress, I had $7.50 into. The Converse pink glitter came from a thread-up kids shoe box, $5.40. And these Sea Kai Run shoes, I did have retail. I bought these for my daughter, and usually if it was a personal item, I wouldn't put the price, but she literally wore them one time. They just didn't fit her right. So I had $18.96 into them. And this bundle sold for $90. And so, let's see, I made $69.54. And I had about, let's see, 18, 20, I had about $35 into it. So I basically doubled my money, which I am happy with. And they were very happy with their purchase. This mini Bowden, another kids item, I picked this up from swap.com for $6.17. It had a ton of interest on all of the platforms, and it sold for $40. And it was a little kid's size. What size was it? It was like an 8 or 9, I think. So definitely a kids item. Mini Bowden, especially the newer tag items, will sell for pretty good money. All right, this is Melissa, Mini Melissa, these were a little kid size 1. They were actually in pretty great shape, but the insides of this particular style of shoe, even the littler kid ones with the strap, they get stained. I tried soaking these. Did not come out. These were my, my daughter has these in her size now, same thing. They always end up looking like that. And these sold, I paid it all. Oh my gosh, speak Amanda. I have $5.37 into them from a Once Upon a Child. They sold for $20, even looking like that. These UGG black slip-on sneakers came from a local thrift for $2. They sold for $30, and they were a size 5. So I know some people don't like to pick up smaller sizes, but I said this before, my son is 10 and he is in a size 5 right now. So I might, you know, 5 people with kids are looking for these. And to me, if I pick up shoes that are a size 5 or 6 in women's, I'm looking at them like, is this something that a younger teen, preteen would wear? All right, this Lululemon sports bra. If you remember, if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, I picked up a slew of bras for $13.64 average cost of goods. This one was due with a tag. I kept about 5 of them for myself. And after selling just the first couple, I was able to keep my 5 for totally free. And that's kind of what I do as a part-time reseller. That's my goal, is to buy my items, my kids' items, and have it all end up being free and buy items to resell to cover that cost. So when I walked into the store that day, got stuff for my whole family, sold a few things, it covered the cost of the whole thing. So anyway, this sold for $32. These John Varvatos gray jeans, they came from a men's ThredUp rescue box as well, $3.13. They sold for $50. So this is definitely a brand to look out for men. They were really cool. They had a little skull on them right here. Let's see. I just thought they were super cool. They were linen. All right. These were a great flip. I paid $7.79 for these from swap.com, and they sold for my full asking price of $79. They were Vionics. Did I say that? I love Vionic. All right, this Quicksilver jacket was brand new with the tags. We found this at the bins for 65 cents, and it sold for $35. Disney parks. If you haven't seen by now, I find a lot of Disney items. I do live in Orlando. And this hoodie, I had $5 into. It was new with the tags. It sold for $32. It was a little kid size 7-8. This Roka wear jacket came from a men's ThredUp box, and I had $3.13. And that was the 100-pound box. I probably wouldn't do that box again. You know, the same cost of goods happen when you buy the 25 or 50. So I find with the women's, the bigger you get the boxes, the lower your cost of goods. With the men's stuff, the items are so heavy, it really didn't change my cost of goods. Anyway, it sold for $59. So I was very happy with this, and it sold quickly. It was big, it was bulky, and I really just wanted it out of my house. Another Disney parks, the new with the tags, I had $5 into. It sold for $25. So make sure when you are picking up Disney items, now I will sell like the Jumping Beans, the Target, you know, the stuff that just says Disney, but you want to make sure you see this castle in the background, and it says parks on it. That means it was official Disney Parks merchandise, or it will actually say the Disney store if it came from the Disney store. Another of these Lululemon bras, $13.64 into it. It sold for $33. These Franco Sardo booties came in a ThredUp rescue shoebox, $6 in. They sold for $25. This Modern Amusement men's jacket, my husband bought this like over a decade ago. I'm pretty sure we bought this back in like 2002 or something like that. So it was a very fast sale though, sold for $25. It was real leather. Another Lululemon bra, when you start listing your items in your death pile, they start selling. So obviously I listed all of these, $13.64 into it, sold for $31. Mini Melissa again, I'm so sad. My daughter, I think, wore these one time before she outgrew this size. These were Snow White. I did pick these up at Once Upon a Child, and they sold for $32. These Melissa shoes I actually got for myself, and I wore them one time. You just need to know, and I noted on here, these are a women's size 10. Melissa and Mini Melissa, their sizing is all over the place. You really just have to go into a store that sells them to try them on. I am a women's 8.5, sometimes 9, but usually an 8, solid 8.5. These are a size 10 and they fit me. So I literally said, these are a size 10, but please know your size for this brand before purchasing. I did show a measurement of them. So anyway, they sold, they were happy with their purchase. These sold, I did have $16.99 into them, and I put that price even though I bought them for myself. I wore them once. I still left that in there. They sold for 40 bucks, so I doubled my money. I still made $15 profit. Melissa has a very high retail. They're not going to resell for all that much. These Converse men's came in a ThredUp Rescue women's shoebox, $6.67 into them, but I believe I listed these as men's. They were a women's 12, men's 10, and they sold for $31. I was really glad they sold on Posh because they were heavy. More mini Melissas. My daughter sized up, so the last couple what sold videos you've seen me sell a lot. We had quite a few of these, the size 10s, and these sold for $25. They're so cute. All right, this is definitely a Bolo brand, a regular choice. These are weird looking shoes. I mean, you'll have to just search on Posh, just type in the brand, a regular choice, and see the crazy designs. A lot of them go for a lot. These did not have the size tag. It's a sticker that goes on the bottom, of course. So they still sold though for $45. It did take a while. I did pick these up at Goodwill for $4.99. They sold for $45, but I did sit on them for probably 6 months or so. I try not to pick up shoes that don't have a size tag, but I couldn't leave those behind. These Puma sneakers came in a ThredUp shoe rescue box for $6. They sold for $47. Mini Melissas, these sold for $20. Again, these came out of my daughter's closet. These mini Melissas, you guys, sold for $24. They were in a play condition. They're clean. They were loved. They still functioned, but I mean, they had absolutely been loved. Here's the bottoms. I mean, I did clean them up. I soaked them. You can see in my video how I cleaned them, but they still sold. So mini Melissa lovers do not care what condition they are in as long as the Velcro still functions and they don't have big rips or tears in them, because your kid's just going to wear them and get them dirty anyway. Just a few more to go. Thanks for sticking with me. This next sale was pretty fantastic. Vintage Oshkosh. Typically, it's the overalls that will sell for a lot. You want to look for the fruits, like the strawberries, the cherries, the flowers. This was a denim dress. This sold within like an hour. I don't believe I underpriced it. You know, I did check a lot of comps. It did have, I did cross post it. I bought this on Kidizen for, I think, like $12 for my daughter. She wore it once for a picture. And you want to make sure when you're looking at Oshkosh that it says made in the USA. Here's the care tag. That is going to tell you that it's vintage, and it sold for $39. So a very fast flip. So always, at least if you don't want to sell kids clothes on the regular, at least breeze by Mini Melissas, Chacos, Natives, Play. A lot of these kids shoe brands that are going to sell for a lot are very easily recognizable. And usually they've got the shoes like on rack. So it's easy to just scan really quickly and see. You know, the overalls, they usually don't have very many, but they're usually all together, at least at all of my thrift stores and Once Upon a Child's and stuff. At least look through them, look for that vintage USA tag. These are T&G. I'd never heard of the brand. I bought these for myself for an ugly sweater Christmas party. I mean, they're not very expensive shoes, I don't believe. I mean, the size said 8/9. They're jellies. They reminded me of Mini Melissas or Melissa. They fit me very similarly, and they sold for $23. And I know I couldn't have paid more than $5 for these. I know I got them at Goodwill last Christmas. Pedro Garcia, absolutely a Bolo brand. These came in a ThredUp shoe rescue box for $5.33, and they sold for $129. So this one pair alone, my profit after my cost of goods was $97.87. So these boxes, the shoe boxes, cost $80. So just this one pair, I was already well into the profit. So, you know, sometimes those boxes are awful. I'm not going to tell you to run out and get one if you don't have $80 to gamble with, but other times you're going to find gems like these. These UGG girls rain boots came in a ThredUp. Listen, I love me some ThredUp rescue boxes, and obviously they're profitable. These were a kid's shoe box. I had $5.40 into these. These were not in good condition. They were in play condition. They had so many scuffs, and they didn't even have a size tag. But these fit my daughter. She tried them on. We have other rain boots, but guys, they're going to be used outside, and they're UGG. They're a good brand. Structurally, you can see the bottoms. They were great. They were just loved and beat up on the outside, but they still sold for $23. So again, I know some people don't like to list stuff that's not in perfect condition, but for me, making an $11 profit, that's gonna buy my lunch. So was worth it for me. These Melissa Silver Flats, I had $3 into from a local Goodwill. I think they had them in the kids section, even though they were a women's, and they sold for $22. So Melissa, mini Melissa, I'm always gonna pick them up. This Hannah Anderson t-shirt bundle, I picked these up on Kidizen. I actually bought a bundle of items from the same seller, a whole bunch of items for my own daughter, but we cannot wear the shirts that have the keyhole in the back with a little button, their hair. Anyway, these sold for $28. So those were my sales. I would say about maybe a little less than half of my sales I made, they were sold for over $20. So again, I'm not going to complain about making a couple extra $1,000. So I hope you guys learned a brand or two from this video. I've got a lot of upcoming videos to do for you. I know if you are watching my 200 pounds, my Winter Style Encore, I haven't been able to put that video out yet because they are in the middle of their 70% off sale and they're not really buying items. They only would take one bin from me. So I've got to drive across town and go to the other location and just see if they are buying items right now. So that one's a little delayed, but my next video, I will have my update of my ThredUp 50-pound kids. I was able to go to Once Upon a Child and I can report back on that. So thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. And I love sharing with you and I appreciate those who take the time to watch and comment. You guys are awesome. Have a great day and we'll see you in the next one.